This is a clusterfuck. Silver could reach $2,000 within 24 months. Gold is undervalued to the point of idiocy. But silver is in another universe. This is a clusterfuck. All those crazy price targets of silver at $1,000 an ounce or more, they're not crazy. In fact, we have a setup where we could go to 150 silver over the coming 12 months, and then we hit a blow off top that takes less than a year to reach $1,000 to $2,000 an ounce. By Eric Dubin. I wouldn't be surprised if half of the JP Morgan silver hoard doesn't exist and that they've screwed clients a la Morgan Stanley, the only mega investment bank to have been officially busted in the last 50 years for not having customers' precious metals in allocated and segregated accounts. Ted Butler has this wrong too. It's not how it's not clear how much fraud we're talking about, but hey, we're talking about JP Morgan. Gold is undervalued to the point of idiocy, but silver is in another universe. And this extended GSR makes it all worse. Gold silver ratio. Because when people get over the fact that there isn't available above ground hoards of silver anywhere close to sufficient size to deal with the new silver bull market, we can end up with the gold silver ratio below 10 very quickly. Held just by the odd sort of crap that has evolved over the last 2 decades of this price suppression and exploding use of industrial and medical uses of silver. We've got a seriously explosive situation here. Forward mine supply is crashing, and it will keep on crashing even if silver rose 50% in the next 3 months, because too much damage has been done, and when a sector crashes and forward supply is crushed, as it already has started to have been crushed, it takes time for an industry to reboot. No way around that, even if the underlying asset recovers in a V-shaped move. At the very at the very time investors start to go nuts for silver, and even with a global economic crash, the inventories are freely available silver are not going to meet demand for any buyer category. Remember what happened when Ford Motor Company freaked out and bought palladium in, what was it, 2000, 1999, I forget the year, one of those two, but they freaked and the market exploded as Ford bought to make sure they had enough for catalysts. That's a nice little metaphor. Now we're going to see a scramble from all sides, investment demand and even industrial demand, because the industrial buyers are simply not going to have a choice, even with global economic depression, because 450 million ounces of industrial demand is not going to zero even with the depression, and with the investment demand is going to go absolutely bonkers. Just to make a point, if silver hypothetically witnessed demand crash to 100 million ounces, those industrial demand buyers will still largely be price inelastic buyers, nowhere near as sensitive to rising prices, giving the small percentage of final costs represented by the small amount of silver used in most industrial, medical, etc. applications relative to overall cost of the end product. And there will be zero slack on the supply side of the equation, because investment demand will have already sucked all the oxygen out of the room. When we have an investor mania that has reached the retail level and things are going bonkers to the upside, things are not going to unfold for industrial demand as some people think. Yes, industrial demand will crash, but that's not what will be the most important thing that will happen. These industrial buyers will still be price elastic, so at the exact same time even retail is going bonkers on the investment demand side, the smaller demand coming out of industrial will be all the more freaked out too, fearing they will not get any supply at all, extending my hypothetical illusion or illustration. In that scenario, an industrial market clamoring and willing to pay massively higher prices will prove to be one hell of a tailwind to investor demand. This is a clusterfuck. All those crazy prices, targets of silver $1,000 or more, they're not crazy. In fact, we have a setup to where we could go to 150 silver over the coming 12 months, and then we hit a blow off point that takes less than a year to reach 1,000 to 2,000 an ounce. Difficult to say just how material the probability of such an explosive scenario truly is, but the thing is, it's way more than just zero probability, and almost no one has understood the feedback effect potential of a lesser industrial demand that's highly motivated and scared to death. 1,000 plus silver would break everything. $500 silver would probably break everything. Gold would follow, and sometimes it would be leading. Something like this could end up being a nuclear winter and worse than 1929 to 1941. It would force a global banking monetary reset too, and the oligarchy would execute a cashless society because bail-in models don't work other than the address of one-off pimples of small dying institutions, not systemic cancer. Boy, I hope he's right. That would be awesome. 1,000 to $2,000 silver within 24 months. Boy, it could be a nice 24 months. Take care, guys. Keep stacking.